The Washington Redskins are no more. The USA Today gets egg on its face, and Goya Foods is the latest battleground in the culture wars. Oh, well, all that and more coming up now on the BS Podcast.
You're listening to the BS Podcast, where we cover all of the bullshit in the news and more. Now, welcome your hosts, Dave and Zach.
Hello and welcome to the BS Podcast, where we talk the absurd, the ridiculous, and yes, the bullshit. Hi, I'm Dave, and joining me is my connoisseur, my fellow connoisseur in bullshit, the sommelier, if you will, Mr. Zach. Zach, how you doing today, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm great. You know, we talked last week. I want to dive right into hyper-local stuff before we hit our stories. We're counting down the top 5 bullshitted stories over the past few days. Before we do that, I want to talk. Last week I told you about how my neck was bothering me, or actually I found out it was my neck that was giving me headaches. I was having a headache for about a week long, nonstop, and I thought, okay, this is it. I got the tumor or something. Go on. And I said, well, maybe it's a neck, and you suggested chiropractor. Well, in fact, I went and I got a massage over the weekend.
Ooh.
And it did me very well. So I'm about 99% sure there was something going on with I felt something kind of pop along the way, and after that, like some relief. So something was just out of line there.
Did she say anything? Did she say anything to you? Like when she was rubbing down your neck, did she say like if she felt like anything was out of place or anything?
No, I don't know if I don't know. It's not a chiropractor, I guess, but I mean, I think she's like, yeah, there's like a bump there, and we both heard it crack, and it was good though. That was my first experience getting a massage, and so it was a little awkward. I don't really know. It was good. She didn't really want to talk too much, which
it's so awkward.
Yeah,
it's so. I've gotten a massage once in my life. Me and my wife were in Key West for our anniversary like 2 years ago, and I was like, I'm going to be romantic. I'm going to like book us a couples massage, and it is awkward. You know what I mean? I mean, it feels amazing, but you know, it's just awkward. And the weirdest thing happened. Like it was a couples massage. We're in this private room, and like we each had our own massage therapist. And at the end, like mine, whispered in my ear, she was just like, "Okay, that was it. And you two take as long as you need, and then you can leave." And I was like, "What does that mean? Take as long as we need, and then leave? Like, what are we supposed to do in here now?"
Oh goodness.
So yeah, it was awkward, but it felt amazing.
Despite the awkwardness, I still enjoyed it, and I think I want to go back and do it again. Now we were gonna do couples as well, but I guess I think with the coronavirus they don't do that now, so you have to get your individuals, which was just fine to me. In fact, I think it was a little less awkward because there wasn't it was just one other person talking versus like, you know, having another conversation kind of take you out of it or something.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I imagine. I don't know.
Yeah.
Question is. She says, on the undressing, okay, that's what I want to talk about. She goes, dress down to whatever you're comfortable with, and of course I didn't get naked. I had my I kept my underwear on, also my socks. Strange enough.
Really? No, I got down to my. She did the same thing. She was like, you know, get under the towel, and then we'll come in a couple minutes.
Yeah,
and I left my underwear on, but I think I just was wearing flip-flops anyway, so I didn't even have socks on, but I would have took those off. I would have took those off for anything else. It
was very stupid of me. I just didn't know what to do. And she got down to my legs, and because she's rubbing my legs and down to my feet. And she goes, "Do you not want your feet rubbed?" And I go, "Oh, no, rub them. I'm an idiot. I kept my socks on for some stupid reason."
So did she take the socks off for you? Or did she rub them?
It was weird, yeah, because I'm reaching back. I'm on my stomach. It's just, I'm here. I'm just going to laugh.
Yeah. Good thing you weren't naked. Then you got to fiddle around and bend over and take your socks off.
I had to ask. I said, "Does anyone take their underwear off?" She's like, "Yeah, it's happened." And I'm like, it makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So guys do it. They've done it. I guess they figure, hey,
you know who else did it? Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's really creepy, really weird. I just can't imagine. I don't know, but I guess maybe the logic there as well. I mean, let's just cut the games and get right to it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, they don't fuck around. They just come in and they start doing their thing, and it's amazing. You know, and I used to sit there and think, before I got one for the first time, I would sit there and think, how the hell does someone lay there for an hour I would get so bored, but that hour goes by pretty quickly.
Yeah, it really does.
You know,
I was kind of like, that's it.
yeah, exactly. I was like, holy shit, that was. I think it's just because the whole ambiance, you know, like the place I went, they had like music, they had like, I don't know if it was like essential oils and like a diffuser or something, I don't know, but it just the whole ambiance of it makes it definitely go by quicker.
This one was just like in a small room, but you know, now that I think, you know, even better. Well, you're paying for time, right? But it would have been nice if there was somehow like if I could have got halfway through, I got out and like jumped in a pool or something, and then came back in. I thought that would have been nice. Not there wasn't even a pool there, but I'm just saying, wherever if you're like at some resort or a spa,
or if like at the very end of it, you could go into like a hot tub or something like that, or I don't know.
So yeah. But anyways, so my head's feeling better is bottom line, and I got a massage, and so it was a lot of fun. So I'm doing well. What about you, buddy?
No, it's been pretty uneventful. I think last night was the first time me and my wife actually went out and we went out to happy hour yesterday and just sat outside and, you know, had some drinks, and that was nice, man. It's been a nice couple of weeks.
It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? To go outside and have a drink or two and just kind of just be out there.
Oh yeah.
Being other than cooped up in your house. Yeah. All right. So we've got 5 stories. We're going to count them down. Are you ready to get into them?
Ready.
All right, so let's start off with story number 1. This one comes from Hong Kong, and you know, it wouldn't be a show, Zach, if we didn't talk coronavirus. And in fact, we might have a second story there too. So let's kick this thing off. Hong Kong, the story from AFP News. Hong Kong patient received blood donor with coronavirus. Unreal, Zach. As officials were scrambling to trace what happened to the blood after it emerged in a man who donated on July 5th and was later found to be carrying the virus. The blood transfusion service has been tracing the blood he donated and for now found that a patient in the Queen Elizabeth Hospital received the platelet transfusion. So isn't that nice? You get a blood transfusion, you wake up and you find out you've got COVID-19.
Yeah.
Talk about bullshit.
Yeah, that's the worst. I mean, that's like not supposed to happen in a hospital of all places.
You think they'd test a guy, right? If you're going to donate.
Yeah, aren't they supposed to be offering like free tests like to blood donors so that this doesn't happen? So I guess they just like decided to give the blood before they ran the test, or maybe that's I don't know. Maybe they aren't doing that over in where this happened.
Well, this is Hong Kong. I mean, it's not like it's some crappy place. I mean, they're sophisticated. They're rich. They've got, top-notch facilities, I would assume. By the way, would you donate? Well, have you ever donated blood?
Yeah. Yeah, you do quite a bit. So like our offices do them like before they used to would like have like there
are no offices.
Yeah, they had a blood drive like every year, and I always give doubles. So that's like they give like you give like twice the amount in one sitting. It's something about my blood type. Like I'm O positive, so I'm pretty sure it's like universal on all the positive side or something. But every time I go to give blood and I tell my blood type, they say, "Can you give doubles?" Because we need, your blood's types in the man. I actually like it better. I've given both. I've given doubles and I've given regular. Doubles is how like people say like after you give blood you'll feel like dizzy and shit like that. And it's the complete opposite. You don't feel dizzy at all because what they do is you get hooked up to a machine and basically it takes like the double amount of blood and then it separates the blood cells from like the plasma or something like that. And then they just keep the blood cells and then they return the fluids back into your body. Right. So
I was thinking you're going to look like a juice carton sucked dry if you so they send some of that back. Okay.
Yeah, they send the fluids back into your body and then just keep the blood cells. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Because
so
I did kind of feel weak, and my wife and I went one day because they have the big red bus or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It was right outside the movie theater, so I figured, hey, give some blood for a movie ticket. Sounds like a fair trade to me.
Yeah.
And she had a hard time. She went home and she was like knocked out for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
I was pretty weak myself.
It can. I mean, I'm a big guy, so it usually doesn't really bother me that much anyway. But Especially if you haven't eaten or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, it's bad. Like that, like the episode of Office where Michael Scott was like, he was like, did you have anything to eat today? No, I've been nervous. I haven't, or whatever. I haven't eaten anything all day. And then he
always does the opposite of what he's supposed to do. Well, so on that, so have you thought about donating now? I'm assuming they probably need it, but it seems a little scary to walk in there. No?
Yeah, you know, I haven't, just because like I want to. I've been thinking about doing it. So I'm supposed to go to New York in a couple weeks to visit a friend of mine for her 30th birthday. I was thinking about donating blood when I return from that, just so I can get the free test.
Oh, okay. That's
you know what I mean. Just
good.
Since I'm going up to New York, right? I'm like, you know, maybe I should get tested anyway when I come back, just to make sure I don't get it or anything like that. So I'll. I was thinking about giving blood then, just to get just for the test, and then I can donate.
It's a good idea. Hopefully they test you before you give the blood. Not that you
right?
have it. Otherwise your contaminated blood will end up in somebody.
Or I don't have it and then I donate blood and for some reason I get it.
Yeah. I hope it's more than just a simple checklist. Like, you know, have you had a fever in 7 days or something?
So, I mean, so I was looking at there's a CVS down my house. That's one of the COVID centers, but you have to fill out a form. Right. You have to fill out like a checklist, and they only accept you if you meet certain criteria. Mm-hmm. And traveling out of the state isn't one of those criteria, even though like the Maryland government said if you've been out of state, you should be tested. Right.
Makes sense. So how do you want to round up this one? I mean, we're thinking this is as bad as it gets. I mean, I'm assuming if you're getting a blood transfusion, you already have a problem health-wise, and now.
Yeah.
I mean. We're going to add COVID-19 on top of it. So I think this is a giant pile.
This is a big pile
of bullshit. Are you ready to move on to the BSometer, or do you have more on this?
I'm ready.
All right, so let's we got the patented BSometer here, and on a BS level. I feel like I've been too generous looking back on the last show or two, because I think last show you had like a 2 or something like that. So now I'm like, well, you know, if I'm giving 8s and 9s and he comes out with a 2, well, that makes me look like a jackass. So I'm gonna go 5 here. What do you got?
I'm going 8.
Okay, so good. We got 5 plus 8 equals 13.
All right.
All right. That's right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Let me count my fingers real quick.
Okay, yeah. Oh, by the way, can you name the 8 planets?
Can I name the 8 planets? 1, where did this come from? But 2, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, Uranus.
Excellent.
Right? And there used to be Pluto, right? When I was growing up, Pluto was a planet as well, but that's not a planet anymore, apparently.
Yeah. Great job, buddy. Because I have an app on my phone called Star Walk. It's pretty neat. You can it just shows you the sky at night, and as you move.
Oh, dude, I love that app.
Yeah. And there was something about I think Jupiter is out. Is closer to the Earth. I believe it's Jupiter, closer than normal or something. And I was reading the description that the app gave me notification. I was reading a little bit. It's something in the planets, and I'm like, wait, can I name all these without looking? And it took me a second. So you did better than me. I'm like, I just haven't. It's something you learn, when you're a kid. My problem was it's Jupiter and Mars. Those are 2 together. If I remember, my brain knows them in order of their distance from the sun. If I swap some of the later ones, I really struggle to remember them.
I can remember all their names. I can't remember like what order they're in. That's what I like. I can't remember. I know Mercury is first, but it's like when you get down later in the solar system, that's when I kind of
like. Yeah, because then we got Venus and Earth, because we know it's the third rock from the sun from the TV show.
So I never seen that show, and I was convinced until like a day ago that Mars was like closer to the sun than Earth. I thought it was Mercury, Venus, Mars, Earth.
Yeah, see, now you'll never forget it now.
Like I forgot. I was just like going down a rabbit hole. I think the reason what happened was NASA released pictures recently of like the highest resolution of Jupiter. Yeah. It's like the highest resolution pictures they've been able to take of Jupiter. So then I went down a rabbit hole of like just our solar system and shit. And I was like looking up like the temperature for each planet. Like what is the surface temperature? You know what I mean? And then I was
How long ago was this?
A couple days ago. That's probably why I got 8. That's probably why I named 8 planets, Dave.
Yeah.
It was like 2 days ago. So like I remember I was like looking at Mars, and it was like Mars, the 4th planet of the sun. And I'm like, wait a second. And I was like counting. I thought there was like another one squeezed like in between I was forgetting about. And I was like, oh shit. So
well, you must have been looking at probably something similar that I was looking at. That's weird. Both looking at the same thing independently. You better thank your lucky stars, buddy. You were looking at that because you probably would have failed naming those 8 planets. You would have felt like an idiot. But look at you. You're a genius, buddy. Yeah. Oh, good stuff. See, it's always good to keep your brain going. Yeah. And that's what I was thinking. I'm like, man, if somebody asked me this on the street, I don't know. And I did. I asked you, and you got it. So good on you.
What the hell do people do before Wikipedia? Like, well, I'm wondering about the planets. Let me just go down to the library and like check out a book.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, you'd have to go down to the library or ask somebody and hope that whatever they say is right.
Yeah, but then half the time, people don't know, and then they just say lies or bullshit that they think is real to one other person, and that other person thinks it's real, and then it just keeps going on and on and on. That's what used to happen before the internet.
That's true, but we've also got plenty of misinformation on the internet.
We do got plenty of misinformation.
You got me believing in robot birds, so
I didn't say I believed in them. I'm saying some people do.
You got me believing in them. All right, Zach. Let's move on here a bit. Let's get to story number 2. Sorry for that diversion, everybody. So
we went from planets to birds to all kinds of shit. All right.
So now there's too much information.
Maybe
we've gone too far. I don't know. Well, this is too big of a topic for me and you to whittle down in our limited time here. So let's get to story number 2. The Washington Redskins franchise is no more. They are changing their name after pressure from advertisers, particularly FedEx, who's the sponsorship of the stadium, FedEx Field, as well as just general social pressure and all the stuff that's been going on lately. Owner Dan Snyder has said he would never change the name, and that he has caved in a sense. It's all done. I believe the team is 87 years old. The Washington Redskins are no more. They were set to announce the new name on Monday, but no announcement yet. Here we are recording on Tuesday morning. Potentially, as I saw from a couple of sports reporters, that there is a trademark dispute. So before we get into that, Zach, what do you think of the Redskins? You're kind of in the area, sort of. You're in the Baltimore area, and the Redskins aren't far away from there. So I know there's some Redskins fans or whatever they're going to be fans in your area. What do you think of this whole situation and the name change?
Oh, I don't give a shit.
I don't really either.
I don't. So
you know any Redskins fans? Maybe I would think there would be.
There's quite a few around here. None of my friends are Redskins fans or Washington fans. I guess we should start saying.
Washington.
Yeah. Because back in the day when the Colts left Baltimore, everyone in the town was like struggling to find a team. So that's why there's a lot of Washington fans around here, because it was, the closest team. It's right down the.
Is that your Baltimore or is that your Maryland accent coming out?
Washington. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. There was this one internship I worked when I was in college, and it was like up near It was up near like Philadelphia. So it was like a big internship. There's people from all kinds of states like in that area coming in.
Yeah.
And everyone would always be like, where the hell are you from? Why are you talking like that? Because I was the only one from Baltimore that was working on the team.
You sound like an alien. Yeah. Cause it's not hard to, sorry. I'm assuming every city, I don't know. Let me rephrase that. Isn't there I don't know a Philly accent, but isn't there one?
Hell if I know. I don't know.
We all know New York accent. We all know a Boston accent.
Baltimore's just a weird accent. It's almost like it feels like England over here, where like in like England and the UK, it's like you go like 20 miles and like accents change. That's how it feels over here. And I actually was listening to we are getting so far like off topic here, but real quick.
We're out in the solar system today.
Yeah. Like I was listening to a podcast, and actually the reason that is in Maryland was because like back in the day, like when the coal fields were like dry, like coal mines were drying up in West Virginia, like apparently like a ton of people migrated to Baltimore from like out in like the South and like West Virginia. And that's why you got these like pockets of like kind of like southern neighborhoods, and then you got these pockets of like urban neighborhoods. It's just this weird kind of like mix, and we're also a border state, so it's so you get like weird mix of like northern like and then southern, and it's like but all right, anyway, no, I don't
I got
give a
one
shit.
more tangent on accents.
Okay.
I don't know if this is true, but I remember reading this. Well, I can't verify this 100%, but the difference between the American accent and the British accent, I read that back in colonial times, the British talked more like Americans, and what we know now is the British accent developed much later. What do you think of that?
Really?
They don't. Yeah. So like the way people speak in London now isn't the way they talked, say, in 1760 or something.
Well, that's weird.
It is, right? It's a little mind blowing.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say.
They talked closer to it's closer to a Boston or a Rhode Island accent, apparently, back then. And so that was actually the true, not true, but that one is sort of stuck in time.
Yeah.
So American English, or at least, yeah.
I can see Boston. That kind of makes sense. Closer to like that kind of accent.
Yeah.
Huh.
So that posh British accent that we most associate with is something that's developed later.
Yeah, maybe it came from like royalty, like trying to like talk better and like sound more sophisticated or something, and then it just kind of like caught on to the rest of the country.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the show.
Yeah, yeah. Back to the show. I don't give a shit about the Redskins changing their name. I don't really.
I don't. The BS isn't quite there yet, but this trademark thing. I don't care about I'm not a Redskins fan. I don't care really. They're changing the name, fine, change the name. I'm not going to die on that hill. I mean, why should I? The issue, they were going to announce it on Monday, but they can't, and I don't know when this is going to come out because they've apparently chosen a name. But there is a trademark dispute, and we got a story here from Richmond.com. He's filed 44 trademark claims on the potential new names for the Redskins. Will he cash in? Says this guy, Martin McCauley. His hobby started in 2014 when speculation began to swirl that the Washington Redskins might have to change their name out of respect to the Native American community. He went on to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and applied for the name Washington Pigskins. And then he went on and he bought a whole bunch of names, including the Braves, the Renegades, Potomacs, Freedom Fighters, Radskins. He bought 44 in total, and he's got a website here called. Talk about this, Zach. Talk about his website, because apparently you can't just go up. The law is you can't just go up and buy trademarks. You have to actually put them into use, because otherwise that's essentially almost like patent trolling in a sense, just buying every name, because then you could buy every word there is in the English dictionary, then claim trademark on it. So you have to actually put it to something. So he technically sells gear.
I think this is just his way of legally getting around it and saying like it is my company. Because if you go to his website, it is like the most bullshit website, clearly only made just to kind of like evade the law and be like, hey, it's like his website is just every single one of his trademarks he bought, like arrows, I guess, for the Washington Arrows, and then the only thing on the page says number of players 11, scoring 6 points, winning. The team with the most points win. Every single page says the same thing on it. But you know what killed me the most was his about me section of his page. Did you read that? Because
picture.
The picture's hilarious. That might not even be him. That's probably like a stock photo.
Somebody else.
But like he's an actuary and the author of best-selling books on pensions, investments, finance, mortgages, real estate, mathematics, actuarial science, whatever that is, cooking, massage therapy, anatomy, pregnancy. One, it's funny that a man like wrote a book about pregnancy, but he's an expert on it. Military history, military pictorials, and card games. So he's a real jack of all trades, this guy.
Yeah, and I was poking around. This is the website, and then so what caught my eye. This is obviously stupid. The man is like what is that called? Like a polymath? Someone he's like a Leonardo da Vinci, where he can, not only is he a genius in one thing, he's a genius in many things, as he showed. But the one that caught my eye, because the rumored name is called the Washington RedTails. Now he owns it. How does he own it? Because he can sell a stupid mug on CustomInkcom, preventing an NFL team from claiming the name. So I'm gonna stop sharing this. So.
I don't know. I was on that website too. I don't know anything about CustomInk.com, but there are some traditionally like what t-shirt and merchandise websites were before was that they would you would send them your logo and they would print out like 100 shirts, and then you would pay for those 100 shirts and then you would resell them on your own. right?
Yeah.
That's how traditionally like printing worked. But now I don't know if Custom Ink is like this. But there are some companies now where you just upload your logo and you say customers buy the T-shirt from you, and you print it. You print the shirt when someone buys it.
Okay.
So if this is how that Custom Ink website is, it could be super easy for this guy to be like, see, I have a business. Here's a stupid RedTails logo that I sell. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because it says right here, if we don't meet the minimum of 72 cups, then they will cancel the order. Who's going to order 72 of these? You will need to come to my home in Alexandria to pick up the cups. This is not a business.
It's nuts, man. Yeah, no. I think he's just cheap. Maybe he bought it in hopes to sell it. I think if he was smarter, he could have just probably bought. He wouldn't have made as much money, but he could have probably just bought the domain names.
Yeah.
WashingtonRedTails.com. He could have owned the domain and then sold the domain when they eventually changed their name to whatever it's going to be. If he was one of the lucky ones and said, hey, I have that domain name. I own WashingtonRedTails.com, because they're going to buy it.
Right.
Right. They know they're going to buy it from him.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So smart. Yeah, would have been smart too. Who knows? Maybe that's the other scheme he's got cooking. The guy is a genius, obviously.
Yeah.
What do you think of the names? What do you think of RedTails? I think that one's actually good because you're staying with red, and it's just a short word, and then it would honor the Tuskegee Airmen. So I think that would actually be a good choice. What do you think of that?
Yeah, that one's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't. I think that's the only rumor that I've really heard that seems like it's going to be the most.
Seems like that's the one.
The most legitimate rumor that I've heard.
Other than that, I mean, Washington American. I mean, these are the ones that he bought: Washington Americans, Renegades, Arrows, Federals, Founders, Monuments. That's stupid. Pandas, Red-tailed Hawks, Warriors, Veterans. Yeah, I think RedTails is probably the winner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what we got here. So this guy, and then just quickly, I think BS also around here is it's not going to end with the Redskins. They're going to come for all the other names, not just Native Americans. There's a story here out of the Washington Post. Opinions: the Texas Rangers name must go. Members of the Texas Rangers force were violent agents of white supremacy. No one is safe here. So. Where does it end? Indians, Yankees, Vikings. The Vikings were a murderous band of heathens. Maybe there's some trauma around that. It's a little offensive what how many people that they killed. So where do we end here, Zach?
I don't know. I think it's a bigger look into like how we've named things as in our history. I don't know where it's going to stop. I don't know what's going to be next. I mean. I was doing some research about the Rangers and like the history of them, and there was I saw somewhere, I don't have the link up, but I saw somewhere that said there's an old saying about Texas Rangers that said every Texas Ranger has Mexican blood because it's on their boots.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, that was a rough quote. Apparently, they were like the KKK of the Mexican Texas border, is what I was. That's what some people were saying online. I don't know anything about the Texas Rangers. It's not like something they teach in school. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not something I learned about. There was a war with Mexico too. So that's
but like in my mind, I hear Texas Rangers and I think like a cowboy. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think in my mind. I don't.
Yeah, and I think now they're a law enforcement agency now.
Yeah.
So, or they always have been, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's a bigger talk about how we need to like teach some of these things in school about what these organizations used to be, about where things were back in the day. I don't know, but this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Well, what about Washington? Because George Washington, despite his great deeds, was a slave owner. So, I mean, should we rename the city? I don't know. So, I mean, this is a rabbit hole. This is kind of the Redskins. Fine, I don't care, but it doesn't end with doesn't end with the Redskins because there is no. Unless
Redskins is. I feel like I hear Redskin, and that sounds pretty That sounds like a pretty like racy way to describe an Indian, a Native American. You know what I mean? It's not like the Chiefs or or something like that.
Say that's a caricature, and you're stealing someone's history and appropriating your culture. So I mean, what the only answer is fuck you, no. That's the only. There's no logicking. Either you give in or you say fuck off. I mean, I think that's.
People were going down a rabbit hole in this topic, Dave, on the Twitter posts about the thing. And the one that killed me was the one that says, well, the Washington Wizards, who are the NBA team, said that they need to change the name because it's reflective of the Grandmaster Wizards for the KKK.
Okay.
Which that's not where that logo idea came from.
We're just gonna end up with animals and like NBA type names, like the Suns,
Golden Nuggets,
the Sonics,
the Nuggets or whatever.
Nuggets. Well, see, Nuggets. That's like wealth inequality. So why should we praise that? All right. Anyway, so you ready to move on?
Yeah.
On the BS-ometer on this one, and to me, the BS isn't the name change necessarily, although we went down that. But this jackass who somehow owns the trademarks to all these, I'm gonna give that a solid. I'm gonna give that a solid 7. No, I'm gonna go 8. I'm gonna go 8 on that one.
I'm going 8. I'm going 4.
Okay. Well, see, we're divergent today.
Yeah.
We got 12. All right. So far, Hong Kong in the lead. All right, Zach, let's get on to story number 3. This comes from a tweet and a story from USA Today. The claim, and I'm going to show this here. Let's pull this up. The claim, Trump campaign shirts feature Imperial Eagle, a Nazi symbol. Our ruling, true. And then this is just getting ratioed to hell. Then the following tweet clarification: the claim that Trump 2020 has put out a T-shirt with a symbol similar to a Nazi eagle is being criticized, for it is true. Worth noting, the eagle is a long-time U.S. symbol too. Okay. No shit. It's the fucking eagle. It's the bald eagle. It's the national symbol. There's eagles everywhere. We do eagles here in the United States.
It looks like you have one on the wall behind you right now.
It's right here.
Yeah.
It's an eagle. It's not a Nazi symbol. Lots of people, by the way, it is our national bird. It is our national symbol. It's on the back of your, well, we don't have a coin here to flip. We have that weird bottle cap to Breaking Ties here at BS Podcast, but it's behind the quarter. It's on a whole bunch of stuff. This is ridiculous. Trying to find, secret Nazis everywhere or something. It's a freaking eagle, guys. And thankfully that ratio there is like 7,000 to 1,000.
Yeah.
That tweet. I mean, it's absolutely disgraceful for a major newspaper like this to come out with this kind of crap. What do you think?
I think for USA Today to get involved in it is a little much. I mean, there's always going to be conspiracy theories with this kind of stuff. But for, like you said, for a major national newspaper to act like they're Snopes, I mean, did they actually contact, whoever designed this logo to see if it was true or not? It's all speculation. People, I mean, like you said, the eagle has been around since ancient Rome. Like military countries have used that presence for a long time as their logo or whatever they may be in their coat of arms or anything like that.
Yeah, this is a really common thing, guys. I mean, look, I'm just here on Google Images. Countries with eagles in symbol. Here we go. Albania, Australia, Czech Republic, Egypt, Germany, Indonesia, Iran. I'm not sure what's going on with Iran. Maybe that's an eagle on top of the thing. Iraq, Libya, Moldova, Montenegro. I mean, you get the idea here all the way down the line. These aren't Nazi countries. United States is in here. There's countries from Asia, Africa, Europe. I don't see any South Americans, but you get the idea here. This is a common thing, and as you mentioned, Zach, the Roman eagle, which is really, it's just a symbol of strength and power. The eagle's a badass bird, and it's a cool symbol.
It is. I think if anything, I think if you're going to put bullshit anywhere, you can put it on USA Today, saying like this is true. It's a Nazi symbol, which it's not. But I think you got to put some bullshit on like the person that did design the logo, because if you do put the Nazi one side by side with that Trump logo, they are extremely similar. Whether he meant that to be a Nazi symbol or not, who knows? You have to ask him. I don't think so. I mean, they probably were trying to find a place to put the American flag, and him being perched on top of that looked cool. Maybe the bullshit lies in having the kind of like thought of being like, does this look too similar? We're in a political climate right now where this kind of thing is going to happen. He could have easily had him perched on an American flag in a separate way. Not saying that was his intention. Not saying it was supposed to be a Nazi symbol. But maybe there should have been some kind of forethought, or.
Well, you know what? One looks okay. Fair point. But let me raise you real quick.
Are you playing poker now?
Here's Here's another one. What about the Federal Reserve? That looks pretty damn close. Here's the Federal Reserve of St. Louis. Here's the Federal Reserve of Kansas City. These look pretty damn close, don't they?
Kind of. I mean, it's the shield.
It's an outstretched eagle with its wings.
Yeah, it's an outstretched eagle on a shield. What I'm not saying the outstretched eagle is where people are getting similarity. I'm saying it's like the way he's perched on that circular logo. I think is where people are making the connection, and people are saying like you should have been. Because that's what I thought at first. I was like, you see that outstretched sideways eagle everywhere. Like I said, it's on the fucking wall behind you.
Yeah.
I think the way he's like perched on that circle in both the logos, I kind of went down a rabbit hole the other day trying to find an outstretched eagle like that perched on a circle logo like it is in that original.
So on the circle, okay, yeah. So
that
these
Nazi
Federal Reserve ones, there's a shield.
Yeah, everything I've seen is like a shield or something. Because I even went back to like the original, the United States official seal, and that's what it was with the outstretched eagle, but he has like a shield in the center of him with the American flag on it.
Okay, so I'll grant you that. I'll budge a little, possibly. But we know this wasn't the intent. By the way, the T-shirt, the stock image of this T-shirt is a black guy wearing the shirt. Are they trying to sell Nazi T-shirts to black men? I don't think that's the aim here, right? Oh, man. All right. So, okay. Fair point with the shield. Although, all right, now I'm going to have to raise you because here's one. I got another one. I just happened to see it. Here's the one. Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi. There's a circle. It's the globe.
Yep.
There's an outstretched eagle.
There she is, right on the globe.
Speaker of the House, a Nazi...
Yeah, that's the same exact thing.
Pretty damn close, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
All right. So can we stop with this shit? Not you, but that's all I had on this because this is ridiculous. I can't believe it. You know, I mean, we say this, but the world sucks. I'm gonna go 9 here. I'm gonna go 9.
I'm
gonna go 9 just because it makes me angry. It's just an eagle. We know it, you know. And then look, so you looked into it, and then we look, but hey, there actually is one with a circle underneath. It's the freaking Speaker of the House office or the Speaker of the House symbol. So there it is. What do you got?
I'm gonna go 5.
5. Oh man,
dead center. I'm just gonna go solid 5.
All right. Well, but you know what? That one puts us in the lead. Puts that one in the lead. All right. So let's go to story number 4. That one gets me hot. Let's go to story number 4. Story out of BBC News: Coronavirus. South Africa bans alcohol sales again to combat COVID-19. The country's trying something different strategy that I'm aware of. We know at least the United States, Zach, that alcohol has been the only thing we can do is to drink with COVID.
At least in Maryland, liquor stores have never shut down. We've always been able to get our booze.
Same here, and I don't know about in your area, but here they relaxed the rules on being able to take to-go alcohol, stuff like that.
Yeah, we got to-go alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a taco place down the street that was doing pack of tacos and a giant jug of pre-mixed margaritas. I mean,
that was our
lovely.
Cinco de Mayo we went. Unfortunately, it was Chili's, but
yeah. Now in Florida, can you get beer and wine at the grocery store?
You can, and the gas station.
And the gas station. So you can't do that in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to go to a liquor store to get beer and wine. So
alcohol's very available here.
Yeah.
But you couldn't do it to go or anything like that. So that's a new thing, and I hope it stays. So we get here. So here from South Africa remains the hardest hit country on the continent. And earlier this week recorded its highest ever single day surge in cases. And in a public address, they said most people taking action to prevent the spread. It said there was someone acted without any responsibility. The alcohol ban comes 2 weeks after. So they banned alcohol once. Now they're banning it again. I guess they say it's to prevent drunken fighting, cut domestic violence, and eliminate weekend binge drinking prevalent across South Africa. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, is it that maybe people just aren't staying home, or they just drink and go out and do whatever they want? By the way, I also heard they banned cigarettes, which has got to be making people really pissed off.
Yeah. Cigarettes, cigarettes makes me, I understand cigarettes more than alcohol. Because, cigarettes, people are usually smoking, breathing, expelling shit. You can't wear a mask while you're smoking.
That's true.
Coughing, everything. Like, at least with drinking, you can, flip up your mask, take a sip, put it back down, call it a day. And drunken fighting, what is...
I don't know. It says there are a number of people who have taken to organizing parties, who have drinking sprees, and some walk around crowded spaces without wearing masks. So I guess that's the idea. They tend to gather, I guess. But, let's deal with some reality here. This is my my bullshit contention is that no one's going to stop drinking, no one's going to stop smoking. We already tried this in the United States, and I think this is more of an indication of the lack of any kind of control by the government over the population in South Africa, because it's just going to go underground. People are going to drink. They're going to find a way to make. People are going to drink if they want to, and particularly cigarettes. I mean, no one. What, the whole country is going to go cold turkey? No one believes this.
Yeah, there's going to be a revolution. A bunch of nicotine addicted people rising up against their leadership.
All you're going to do is just going to be under the black market. And so now instead of selling legally, things will just be sold illegally. What, you think every liquor store is just going to close up shop and not try to move any of their inventory out the back door or something? It's crap. That's my bullshit. Yeah,
I just don't understand the concept behind it. That's it. That's my whole thing. Like, what is the reasoning? So they don't have people partying. People are still gonna, like you said, people are still gonna party. But even then, why don't they just say like gatherings? No more gatherings of X number of people. I don't know. Or if you want to drink, just drink privately in your house with like your family. You don't have to have a big party. Maybe that's not an option.
I don't think it's genuine. I think that's the thing. I think now, so if they catch people outside and they're drunk, now they can like arrest them for drinking. Whereas before, maybe it was a different sort of a thing where they didn't really couldn't control the crowd.
Is like the entire country of South Africa, like New Orleans, where it's like you can just walk up to a bar, grab a drink, and keep walking down the street.
I have no idea.
You know what I mean? Like if you go to New Orleans, it's like that's all it is. Like people just drinking outside, like walking. You don't even have to go inside to get a drink. Is that like what it is in South Africa? Good
stuff. That sounds like fun, but maybe too much fun. Yeah, I don't know what the situation. Now they impose a curfew, and now wearing masks is mandatory when you're outside. And this will supposedly, I guess the idea is if they can't drink, then they'll just won't have any reason to go outside. But again, they're going to drink anyways.
That's the only reason to go outside in that country is to drink.
I'm sure there's plenty of things to do.
Makes a lot of sense.
Well, I'm going to go. You can go first. What do you want to rate this one?
I was going to go 7.
7. You know what? Lucky 7s, buddy. Oh, so we got a tie now. You got the bottle cap handy?
I don't. Oh, yes, I do.
Well, yeah. I mean, what do you mean to think you don't? This is the official.
Yeah, it's a candle cap.
Is it what is that? Is that a wolf?
It's a man with a beard.
Okay, book lovers. Soy. Come on, man.
It's a candle.
All right.
Oh, I didn't know it was a soy candle.
Yeah. See, that's bullshit. That's a good one.
No, it's this candle store, and they make all their candles after books, like scents based off like themes around books.
Oh, okay. What's the
like? There's one there. They have one candle called Sherlock's Office, and it smells like pipe tobacco.
Oh,
it's really good.
That smells nice, or that sounds nice.
Yeah.
I've never smoked a pipe, but
really,
I find the smoke pleasant.
Oh man, growing up, my next door neighbor like smoked a pipe every day, and it smelled so good. Pipe tobacco smells so good.
Little Zach is trying to get downwind of the pipe smoke.
I got one. I had one as a joke one time. We were all driving down to Myrtle Beach for a golf trip, me and a bunch of guys, and we went to this cigar store like along the way just to buy a bunch of cigars. And I came out with a fucking corncob pipe and like a giant bag of pipe tobacco.
That's hilarious.
But it was nice. I mean, it was,
Is it? It's a lot of work, though, or is it not a lot of work? You have to keep lighting it?
No, not really.
Oh, cool. Well, maybe one day. I'll give myself like a tweed jacket or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, so let's get. Go ahead. Do you have anything more on this one?
No.
Oh, okay. a lot of rabbit holes today, Zach.
Yeah, I know.
I hope you're all enjoying these diversions. All right, before we get into let's get into our final story. This has to do with, as I talked about in the intro, the new battleground over the culture wars is Goya Foods, guys. Now we get the fight over Goya Foods. Basically what happened was the CEO, Mr. Anunue, I believe I pronounced that right, he spoke at the launch of the White House Hispanic Prosperity Initiative and announced the company's donation of 1 million cans of chickpeas to America's food banks. It says today, gives me great honor, he said before interrupting himself. And by the way, we're all truly blessed at this time to have a leader like President Trump, who was a builder. And that's what my grandfather did. He came to this country to build, to grow, to prosper. And so we have an incredible builder. And so we pray for our leadership, our president. And we pray for our country, that we will continue to prosper and grow. And Zach, these comments, these horrific comments set off a firestorm all over social media. People slamming the Goya Foods CEO. Many people saying that they're going to throw out. People saying they threw out all their Goya foods. They're never going to shop there again. So here we go into another fight, Zach. This time over Goya Foods, because the man dared to praise a sitting president of the United States.
Yeah. So it's this weird thing. You try to find the bullshit in it because obviously he has a right to support any president, any political candidate he wants. If he wants to support Joe Biden, he can. If he wants to support Trump, he can. Same choice. You have a choice. You don't have to buy Goya brands if you don't want to. That's the whole thing. But I think like what I think is like we become so like sensitive to like different beliefs than our own that you can't even buy something just because he says that he's a supporter of President Trump, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he said like these hateful racist comments, right? I mean, people have been making the argument that say like President Trump is racist against Latino Americans, so you're guilty by association, essentially. But that's, you know what I mean? That's just not the case, right? I mean,
no, I find that ridiculous.
One's a Trump supporter, if someone's a Democrat and someone's a Republican, they can still, you know, live together and they can still, you know, support the same businesses or whatever. It's I think that's where the bullshit lies, that we've come so far as a society that like we just can't like coexist together with different ideas, right? We all have to go in our separate areas, like, you know, Democrats on one side, Republicans on the other, and we can't commingle, right? And that's ridiculous. Why you see the ideas like that's why like every political election, it seems like people get further left and further right each time, right? Because no one's together talking about these kind of things. It's just like you're a Republican, so I don't want anything to do with you. Let's just get completely away from you. Or you're a Democrat, you know, fuck you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be anywhere near you. And just, you know, it's just that's where the bullshit is for me.
Oh, I agree. I'm right in the same spot. And you know, you're exactly right. We get more polarized, more angry at each other. I mean, this idea. I mean, look, this is highly selective. Okay, right? So. Nobody does this to everything that they buy. It's not possible because, well, it's an easy target. If someone, well, Trump bad, so you like Trump, you bad, me no buy product no more. That's really great stuff. Really taking it down the rabbit hole there, using your brain. But what about here's a good one. How about Nike brand, where they have kids making sneakers in sweatshops in China? Still wearing Nikes. Do you go down to every corporation to see what everybody believes and what they do and if they're exploiting anybody? All this guy did was say, I like the president, and we have to now destroy his brand. You know, where are your ethics down the line? Or is it just a nice way to virtue signal that you're super special, holy, and everyone else is bad? That's what I see.
It's an easy fight for you. You know, I mean, if you just, it's an easy way to fight your, you know, cause or whatever that may be.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Go down, look at any freaking brand in your house, and I highly doubt that anybody who are, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple people, but anybody who's holding Goya to some super high standard doesn't hold the same to everything else that they buy. And you're right. You know, we got to get back to a world where we can leave some of this stuff aside. Instead of trying to, you know, destroy everybody who disagrees with us. It's unbelievable. The follow-up to this, Zach, is that apparently this boycott has failed miserably. There's been reports of, I guess, people on the other side, conservative folks, doing what they call a Buycott, which is to buy up. Sort of like, I don't know if you remember this thing with Chick-fil-A a number of years ago.
Yep.
Same idea here with Chick-fil-A. So we got, you know, one side wants to boycott and the other side's going to Buycott. And so I guess I don't know where it ends. I guess just call it a stalemate. And it looks like this whole thing's going to blow.
With the Chick-fil-A thing, Chick-fil-A won in that sense because I think it was like, who was it, Huckabee? I think down in Alabama. I think it was like Huckabee or something did the whole on the same day they were doing the Chick-fil-A boycott, Huckabee did a Chick-fil-A appreciation day. And like Chick-fil-A's in Alabama, like completely sold out of chicken sandwiches. They had to like close their stores early because they were just like sold out of chicken sandwiches.
Yeah, I think it was somewhat around the country too. So lines out the door. I mean, Chick-fil-A absolutely cleaned up. So I guess, yes. I mean,
maybe Goya. Okay, maybe Goya. Maybe this whole thing started from someone that's like works at Goya, and they're like, I'm going to start the boycott, so that way someone will start the Buycott, and then like we'll get our sales to go through the roof.
I like that. It's a secret plan.
Conspiracy theory here.
And by the way, this was a part of. I don't maybe we glossed over this in the intro. This was part of a Hispanic Prosperity Initiative. He donated 1 million cans of food. And you're going to crap on this guy? I mean, just because he says some nice words to the president? I mean, what's he supposed to say? This guy's an asshole. Happy to be here to donate my food. This guy's a real asshole, everybody. I mean, what is he? I don't know. I'm fed up with this. I'm fed up. The BS to me, I'm ready to give my score. The BS to me is that we don't even have to worry about, we got toppling statues. Okay, fine. We can argue about that. Now we got to argue about Goya foods. I'm tired of it. You ready for a score?
You go first.
I'll go 8 again.
You're going to go 8 again?
Just because of my annoyance.
Yeah. I'm going to go 6.
You're going to go 6. All right, so we've got a 3-way tie here, guys. This is unprecedented on the BS podcast, and we have no idea how to settle it. But I think we figured it out. We're going to take 3 names, put them in a hat.
And I don't have a hat, so I'm using a shoe.
We're going to take 3 names and draw them out of a shoe. Yeah. And then Zach's going to draw 2. So the one remaining in the shoe will be 3rd place, and then we will coin flip with the official candle cover to determine the winner.
All right. All right, so first one, Goya.
All right. So Goya's a finalist.
And Eagle.
All right.
So third place.
Yeah. Okay. So let's start our top 5 here, and then we'll reveal the winner at the top. So,
all right.
Number 5 will be the Redskins change their name. Number 4, Hong Kong man wakes up with a blood transfusion and gets coronavirus. Great on that. Number 3, South Africa bans alcohol for the 2nd time to stop the spread of coronavirus. We don't really still understand this. Very stupid. No wonder why you got a problem in your country, because you're making the wrong decisions. And,
all right.
Now we'll coin flip for 2 and 1.
Yeah, we'll do Eagles on the face side of the thing, right?
Great.
All right, Eagles is number 1.
Excellent. All right, so number 2 is Goya Foods, the new battleground of the culture wars. And number 1, our bullshittiest story of the week, is the Trump Nazi Eagle crap. Oh, tired of it. Absolutely tired of it. Every week, Zach, we're doing the hard work for everybody here. Dealing with these stories, interpreting them, breaking them down, and then ranking them. This new ranking system is really sophisticated. I'm liking it. What do you think?
Yeah, BSometer. Well, it's going to be one in every house. It's like a thing that detects radiation, right? That they use in Chernobyl.
Yes, that's what we want in every house. We absolutely do. Well, I'd love to know what you think about all the items that we covered today, and if you can name the 8 planets off the top of your head. No cheating. When we talk, of course, we talked the ridiculous. We talked the absurd, and of course the bullshit. The top 5 bullshit stories of the week. I want you all to subscribe to this channel. And Zach, where can they head on? Where can they go if they want to find out more stuff we do, more stories that we cover?
Yeah, informedamerican.com. If you want to cover politics and everything, we also do culture and money, finance, that kind of stuff. If you want to go over to realhealthynews.com, that's where we cover everything related to health and wellness.
Absolutely. For Zach, I'm Dave, and I've had enough of this BS.
You've been listening to the BS Podcast with Dave and Zach, part of the Informed American Radio Network. Please like and subscribe today in order to get fresh new weekly episodes. Please send us your BS stories to info@informedamerican.com. The world is hard enough, and now we gotta deal with this bullshit.